Greetings, traveler. I am Sir Nox, the teller of tales. Would you like to hear one? Before we get started, please consider subscribing to the channel, as it helps immensely. Thank you so much. And if you really feel like it, please leave a comment below and like the video. That also helps as well. Let's get started. My character, being straight, caused a fight. That is the title of today's tale. I'm sorry, I said that backwards. Let's get into it. I've been DMing for a lot of years, since I was just a kid. Due to this, I've seen a lot of issues arise at the table and learned often from my mistakes. How to deal with them. Thankfully, I'm lucky enough to have been DMing for most of the same people for all these years. Perhaps that's why what happened escalated as fast as it did, and why the fallout was so severe. So, a while back I took a break from DMing my current homebrew campaign in an effort to recharge the old batteries. The story was at a good stopping point, so letting it rest for a few months wouldn't hurt too much. During this off-season, a friend of my group, someone I've known since I was 10, invited me to join a campaign he was running. I said sure. I never get to actually play, so I was wildly excited. Now, other than my friend, I don't know any of the people in the group. He assured me that they were all cool and I'd get along with them pretty easily. I sat in on one of their sessions the week before I joined just to see if the group's playstyle suited me. And it did. I committed myself to joining that night and told my friend as much. My friend had a pretty interesting idea for working me into the story. He knew because I told him as much that I probably wouldn't be there for the long haul, that my character would be more of an extended guest than a party member. We both took that into account when creating my character. His idea was simple. My character would be an entity from the far realms that followed the party through the portal they opened when returning from there. I was essentially an elder god at level 20, pretending to be a level 10 warlock. Eventually, I was going to turn on the party, we were going to fight, and I was going to be resealed in the far realms. 2 months went by, 9 sessions, and all was going well. The party was close to finding a magic item they needed to break the seals placed on a god the paladin of the group worshipped. My character wanted it to unseal its full power. The showdown was imminent. I was excited and ready for death. Then the paladin, who was the center point of this whole plotline, got sick in real life. He caught pneumonia and was out of it for a while. My friend decided, rather than continue with this, to distract the party with another request until the paladin got better. He asked if I was okay with sticking around longer. I said sure. Enter the Sorceress. It's important to point out at this point that my character was female. No real reason why, I just rolled a chick. From the get-go, this player and her sorceress was infatuated with my warlock. She did everything with me. All the downtime, all the side stuff, everything. She played it off as being happy. There was finally another arcane caster around. But that changed. Now, my warlock had no real emotions. She was really an it from another plane of existence. I roleplayed her as being stoic and very matter-of-fact, and unconcerned about most things. Whenever a moral dilemma came up, she would side with the majority. So when the sorceress tried to kiss my warlock and confessed her love, it took me a moment to process. How would a being with vast knowledge of many things but no emotion react? She needed the party to reach her goals, but for no more. So I responded as such in character. You mean a lot to me, Lorelei. But there's too much at stake to get distracted by such things. At first she agreed and acted like she understood, but as the weeks went by, her advances continued, flirting, touching her, always going where my character went. Now this didn't bother me personally or my character. I looked at it as her trying to change my warlock's mind, and my character saw it as foolishness. Then about 4 weeks later, the incident happened. We were still down the paladin, doing side quests and whatnot, and we were trying to steal something from the sleazy noble. Our barbarian made the offhand comment that one of the girls in the party should sleep with the noble to distract him. My character said sure, she would do it if it helped. In the same manner, she had offered to do many non-sexual tasks in the past to maintain her ruse. Other party members quickly talks my character out of it. said it was all a joke and had a good laugh. In that moment, however, I saw the sorceress's player visibly darken. She waited until our characters were alone and confronted my warlock. She railed against her, bursting into tears. Her sorceress said, Why would you agree to that when you know how I feel about you?" To which my character apologized in the same deadpan manner in which she always spoke. It had been about 4 hours at that point, so we took a break. We play for 8 hours a session and always try to break somewhere in the middle. The woman that played the sorceress came to me during this time and kinda nudged me a bit in a friendly manner and asked why my character wouldn't get with her already. Now I knew why, she's a monster in disguise, but I couldn't say that and spoil me and my friend's surprise. So I just shrugged my shoulders and laughed, saying, as I did so, I don't know, maybe she just isn't gay, which I thought was a reasonable assumption for my own character. It apparently was not. Tension set in immediately, and she got visibly angry, disgusted even. She said that this was fantasy and sexuality didn't exist. Everyone could be with anyone. I saw she was angry and tried to de-escalate by saying, "Sure, I get that, but maybe my character just has her own preferences." Wrong answer. She started screaming. She said she was bisexual and that I was invalidating her sexuality. I said I was not trying to do that at all. I was talking about my character and her wants. That maybe my character liked men, or maybe she simply saw the sorceress as too good a friend to be in a relationship with. She said, "Well, your character is a stupid bigot then." I simply shrugged and offered apologies. We went back to the table after the break and tension permeated the room. Myself and the barbarian tried to let in some humor to make things better. We sort of had this routine where he'd convince me to do unnecessary things with him, claiming it was for the good of the group. It didn't help much. In-game, the sorceress had a complete paradigm shift regarding my character. She was openly hostile towards my warlock, actively insulting her. I just rolled with it. We ended up fighting the sleazy noble, who was a magic user, and looting his mansion. During the fight, things were getting gnarly. So I texted the DM and asked if I could use a spell from a higher level than what I was pretending to be. He agreed, as long as it wasn't too crazy. He said he didn't want anyone to catch on, but said just a little suspicion might be fun. I cast it at a clutch moment and managed to finish off the noble. After we looted the place and left, the sorceress's player looked at me and asked how many spells I used during the fight. I was honest. She turned to the DM, my friend, right then and accused me of cheating. She listed with the player's handbooks before her how many spell slots I should have had and at what level I could cast. I promised her I hadn't cheated, and the DM did the same. She continued to argue. My friend finally broke down and said, "There may be things about the character or items on her person you're unaware of that allow her to cast these higher level spells." I thought that was masterful. As a longtime DM and friend seeing him diffuse such a tense situation as a relatively new DM himself, I was impressed. The sorceress's player was not. She loudly exclaimed, "Well, that's BS!" Then decided to take it in character by questioning how I pulled it off. My friend stopped her. He asked her to roll an arcana check to even be able to know what a caster of my level should be capable of, to which she rolled a natural 20. I leaned back in my chair and laughed. My friend did the same and shook his head. I shrugged back at him. We were both awfully amused at our luck. He told her truth. A caster of my level shouldn't be capable of a spell that high. She took it and ran, growing instantly suspicious and confrontational. She demanded I explain how I did it, and do so now. The other party members tried to calm her down, but she wasn't having it. My warlock fed her some line about not really knowing herself. The sorceress asked for an insight check. Then for a second time, my friend impressed me. He nodded at her and then looked at both of us while saying, "Roll and add the appropriate modifiers," trying not to give away if I was rolling persuasion or deception. As a warlock, I had crazy good charisma, and I was proficient in deception. Coupling that with my roll, I ended up rolling with over 20. She rolled an insight of 7. My friend said, "She seems to be being honest." The sorceress player wouldn't bite. She refused to believe me. Another player finally said, "It might have something to do with her patron. She is a warlock." Which made both me and the DM nod. Still a no-go. She said, "Tell me the truth now, or you die!" Now, In both my games and in this game my friend was running, PvP is cool. Player privilege is respected. Anything your character would do, you can. I understood this when joining and even like it in games I'm in. Makes things more interesting when you're among friends. My warlock told her, "I will say no more." Then she attacked. We rolled initiative and began to fight. The other players backed off, literally saying, "This is between you guys." About mid-fight, I started getting low in HP. We both were. So I looked to the DM. I said, "I'm hurting pretty badly and reaching that breaking point. With that in mind and believing I may be facing death, would I hold back?" My friend sighed. He looked down for a moment and thought things through before looking back at me and saying, "No, you wouldn't." So I unleashed all hell. I transformed into this demonic Cthulhu creature. I began destroying the town, stomping the sorceress, all kinds of awesome. Then the rest of the party, seeing, joined in. The fight was really enjoyable, and at about half HP, I laughed at them, summoned a lesser monster, and ran off towards the temple that holding the item I needed to break the seal on my powers. We all had a good time with it, but after I talked to my friend, and we were both sort of let down. We were minus a player, which always sucks when big stuff happens. The metagaming and hostility by the Sorceress's player made it feel sort of cheap. It was what it was, though. They finally arrived at the temple, and my friend asked if I wanted to sit in and run my guy for the boss fight. I turned him down, but it did make me think back on all this. Some people can't disconnect from their characters. I know this, but it was still shocking. It's weird to think about, but if I just would have agreed to have lesbian smashing time with her character, none of this would have happened. There's an update. Let's see what happened. I didn't really think this would turn into a real thing. Imagine my surprise when I looked at my phone this morning. After going back and correcting some mistakes I made on my phone when writing this, I decided to read through the comments, most of which are amazingly supportive. I can only thank you guys for that much. I did notice that many of you had questions. I just didn't think or have time to answer. I wanted to go through the ones I saw get asked the most for you guys. Was the sorceress into you IRL? I didn't even think about this, if I'm being honest. I was engaged to my wife at the time, so I just sort of figured anything like that was off the table. If that is the case, though, I sort of feel like a dick. But it wouldn't have changed anything. I still would have rejected her due to being in a relationship. 8-hour sessions? Weekly? Yes. Well, 6 to 8 hours usually. I didn't think this was a huge deal, but apparently it is. This has always been our norm. My group had been playing just about every week since we were in middle school for roughly the same amount of time. I want to note that my friend, who was the DM in the story, was doing this twice a week, once as a player in the game I DM, and then DMing his own campaign. Why didn't the DM stop the game after the argument in the kitchen? He wasn't there. He left to go pick up some pizza with 2 of the other players, leaving the barbarian, sorceress, and myself at his home. I decided not to say anything to him to cause tension because I was a guest. I didn't want to break up his home game because of some childish spat. I'm a man, I can handle people not liking me. So I just shrugged it off. In hindsight, that was probably a bad move. DM favoritism? This is something I've seen a lot here, and didn't clarify. People have argued that in some sense the sorceress was in the right because the DM and I were in cahoots together for a plot reason. That I was given this super OP character to use at my own discretion. That isn't the case. To maintain my human form, I couldn't freely use my power at will. Not at a higher level than the form was able to. If I wanted to, I had to roll for it. A success meant I was able to use more ability powers. A failure meant dire consequences, everything from hurting to revealing myself to the party. How old were we? Everyone in the group were in their early to mid-20s at the time. This was about 4 years ago, so I was around 21 at the time. The sorceress was the youngest in my group at like 19, if I remember right. The paladin. Yes, he had a full recovery. He's a great guy, and he's actually joined as a guest in my game for a few sessions here and there. How did it resolve? Well, we fought. I turned into a humanoid Cthulhu monster, still sans my true power, and threw down. I did stuff when the rest of the party joined the sorceress in battle since I was still pretty hurt from our initial duel. The DM essentially let me use all my spells without any drawbacks at this point, so I was able to summon creatures to tank some of the damage. I eventually fled the scene after it became apparent I was going to die. My character did eventually die. The Sorceress got the killing blow. Apparently, she got to have a very emotional moment of character development as she killed my character, saying that she still loved her, or something along those lines, while delivering the final blow. Hearing this was bittersweet. I certainly had harsh feelings towards the player, but I can appreciate a narrative. I think wrapping it up like that was a good way to end it all. What an amazing story. That was so interesting. I had so much fun reading that. Thank you for sharing. Well, I mean, some people just are very sensitive, and you said something in passing, not thinking about it, and it was highly offensive to some people. But I think you did right by trying to correct the situation the way you did, but you can only do so much. If someone wants to be offended and stick to being offended, then they're just going to. But hey, it's unfortunate the Paladin wasn't there because, man, that would have been such a cool battle for them to experience. But I'm sure they're okay with it, right? And it panned out kind of naturally. Unfortunately, it was due to someone just being overreactive, but it panned out nonetheless. It seemed to unfold in the game, and you were able to still have the ending that you wanted, just minus a player, which isn't the worst thing, especially after 4 weeks. Sounded like you waited a month. Now, obviously, pneumonia might take a while to recover from, so, it is what it is. But, hey, I still feel like that's a fair amount of time. Anyways, that concludes our tale for today. If you'd like to hear more, come back and I shall tell you some.